Good morning and welcome to the monthly Go Legal update. GoLegal.co.za. If you haven't already subscribed, please do go to their fantastic website. It is the space to go to for legal news across South Africa, or legal market news, that is. And as you know, those of you who are regular viewers know that I, Rob Green, CEO of the GRM Group, do a monthly update on the legal job market across South Africa and what's happening and what's moving and where can people look and what to look out for. Now, we are currently, I'm filming this on, I think it's May 27th. So we're 2 days away from the general election, which has got a few people quite nervous. I can't vote because I'm a foreigner. So I'm an enthusiastic viewer, shall we say, of what's going on. And that has put a bit of a holding pattern on certain recruits and certain recruitment functions. But if all goes to plan, the second half of this year will see a pickup in the commercial and corporate spaces, specifically in M&A and listings as well, which will mean the increase in positions in some of those leading firms. And we'll see. And then obviously the knock-on effect of that is we'll see more. But look, let's give you the highlights. If you're a partner with a reasonable book of business and client following, you can get a job most anywhere. Lots and lots of the bigger firms are looking in the corporate space, corporate commercial, insurance, tax, employment, litigation, some projects and project finance, but it's really about, do you have a track record? Do you have a client following? And you know, are you willing to stay somewhere for a period of time, say 3, 4, 5 years, maybe longer? So the senior end, we're seeing a lot of movement. We have continued to see a lot of movement, which is excellent because that's where we specialize. We specialize in that area. We have databases and data analysis on every single partner in every single firm in South Africa. So no one can do what we do. And we've seen a nice bump and movement this year, and that's going to continue. The fallout of that usually means that there's a bit of movement at the associate level, with partners taking their teams sometimes, and then they're opening up gaps where there needs to be some more recruits. So the pattern at the moment on the more mid to junior side is more replacement than growth. Whereas on the senior end, it's the buying in the practice and the buying in the growth. So that's going to continue across law firms in South Africa for the second half of this year. And then obviously we have the in-house side of things. Now, I say this 100 times a week, I feel. So let me get it across to you as well. Everybody wants to go in-house. In the 21 years that I've been doing legal recruitment across the world, everybody's always wanted to go in-house. And it's just not possible all the time, especially in a very small market like South Africa. And I mean small in terms of opportunities. Now, I'm not going to name names, but if you go onto LinkedIn or Careers24, you will see the same in-house positions regurgitating every 6 months. It's the same companies, the same banks. It's always the same. And I don't know what they're getting wrong. It's not out of growth. Yeah, I'm not sure on that. But the in-house market here is small. It is small, and you know, you just don't get that many jobs. General counsels don't tend to move around very much. There isn't a massive influx of foreign direct investment at the moment, so we aren't getting lots and lots of new jobs. There was one position at Amazon fairly recently, and I think they had about 37,000 applicants. So it's just not a big market. So and also the legal tech boom hasn't really taken off yet in terms of jobs. We've seen sales jobs popping up here and there, but nothing really massive. So the bulk of the opportunities are still in practice. And you know, we're seeing more and more firms being splintered, and we've seen obviously a handful of some of more prominent mid-level firms breaking up. Half the partnership going that way, half the partnership going another way, some setting up on their own, some joining other firms. So that might continue. You can obviously Google who those firms are. I'd rather not say, but you know, just in case you haven't seen it, but you can see who that is. But I've been a big believer in this every year, and I say it every year. I think this market is absolutely ripe for more mergers and coming together of firms. It's incredible that we have an industry of 30,000 lawyers and 15,000 registered law firms. That obviously is a ratio of 2 to 1, whereas in other countries, more developed markets, it's more of a ratio of 8, 9, 10 to 1. There isn't as many firms, to people. And I think, we need to look at that. So there might be opportunities in the merger space and coming together because there is pressure. There's pressure on fees. There's pressure on the firms through technology. And there just aren't that many jobs out there in-house, and there aren't that many opportunities for the more junior lawyer. So anyway, senior lawyers, get in touch. And the other one quick thing I would say on that basis, I said it on one of my weekly videos, which I'll direct you to in a moment. But we're finding lawyers are starting to be really, really cagey with their information and not wanting to share their financial data and the client base and things like that. Got to stop that. You're not gonna get the opportunities unless you talk to us and give us the information. But again, we can talk about that. You can get in touch with me on rob@thegrmgroup.com at any time you like, and we can talk out what's really going on in the market and how you can jump to that next level, because that's what it's all about, right? The other thing I would say is I do have a weekly video that goes out on our YouTube channel. The link will be below, but it's a weekly produced video. Our filming crew come in and they sit there. We'll do another one today, and I give real insight into what's happening in the marketplace. I get lots of emails in from lawyers in South Africa asking about interviews, specific issues they've had with employers, how to get jobs overseas, what to do next if they've turned 50, how to get articles. These are all the questions that we answer, and I answer those emails live. Obviously, the people remain anonymous, but I answer them there weekly basis, and we film it. And one of the things that keeps coming out is those opportunities overseas. Now, I've just got back from Riyadh. I'm off to Dubai very soon, and I'm off to London soon after that. With a smattering of Kenya and Tanzania thrown in as well. And one of the main reasons I'm doing that is I'm trying to forge a path for South African lawyers. So it's starting to look quite good. Get in touch. Get in touch with me again, rob@thegrmgroup.com, and let's start looking at that potential overseas move as well, if that's something that you want to do. The last thing to say is, look, sign up to golegal.co.za, our partners in this and have been for a number of years now. Look at our newsletter, which is on Substack, globallegalmarket.substack.com. It's absolutely jam-packed full of jobs. That's where we put all our job mandates, research, data, market news, analysis, client base, job tips, business development tips, you name it, it's on there. In there as well is our events. We put these massive events coming up. We're putting on a humongous anti-corporate corruption event for the University of Johannesburg. It's going to feature former presidents, the vice chancellor, some of the biggest business leaders in the country. That's happening in September. We've got our breakfast club being launched next week in Cape Town, which is going to be where we're bringing specialists in to talk about the new legislation in certain areas for a select VIP crowd. So get in touch with us about the breakfast club if you want an invite. We've got a whole heap of other things coming up, including our Champions Mindset lunches, which I'm very excited about because we've just managed to secure one of South Africa's most prominent sportsmen to come along and do a Q&A with us. And I'm going to talk about that later at another stage. But for now, if you've got to the end of this video, jobs, there's plenty of them. You've just got to let us help position you and position you into the right space with the right data and the right analysis. So get in touch, whatever level you are. If you're looking for a new role here or overseas, get in touch with me, rob@thegrmgroup.com, and my team and I will endeavor to help.